The white sand of a tropical paradise was about to be drenched in human blood, and the monster responsible wasn't hiding in the jungle. It was standing on the beach, holding a spear. It all began with a blinding flash over the Pacific Ocean. A plane carrying a group of British schoolboys was evacuating them from a world consumed by nuclear war. But before reaching safety, the aircraft was shot down. It tore a massive scar through a beautiful, uninhabited tropical island. No adults survived. Out of the wreckage emerged a group of stranded boys. Among them were Ralph, a confident and optimistic 12-year-old, and Piggy, an intelligent but physically frail boy whose thick glasses and asthma made him an easy target. On the beach, they discovered a large conch shell. When Ralph blew into it, the sound echoed across the island. And from the jungle, the survivors emerged. Among them was Jack Merridew, the proud leader of a school choir. The boys held a vote. Ralph was elected chief. Jack accepted the result, but only on the surface. To keep peace, Ralph gave Jack control of the choir boys and appointed them hunters. Together, the boys created rules, built shelters, and started a signal fire that they hoped would attract rescuers. For a brief moment, it felt like an adventure. Then a frightened child asked a simple question. What if there was a beast on the island? The older boys laughed. But fear has a way of growing once it is given a name. That same day, their first signal fire spiraled out of control. Flames swallowed part of the forest. And when the smoke cleared, one of the youngest boys had vanished. He was never seen again. Weeks passed. The island began changing the boys. Ralph struggled to maintain order, insisting that shelters be built and the signal fire kept burning. But Jack was becoming obsessed with something else. Hunting. At first, he hesitated to kill a pig. Soon, he couldn't think about anything else. He discovered that painting his face transformed him. Behind the mask, shame disappeared. Rules disappeared. The civilized schoolboy vanished. Something darker took his place. Then came the moment that changed everything. One afternoon Ralph spotted smoke on the horizon. A ship. A real ship. Rescue had finally arrived. But when he looked toward the mountain, his heart sank. The signal fire was out. Jack and his hunters had abandoned their post to chase pigs. The ship passed by. Their chance at salvation disappeared into the horizon. And with it, the fragile friendship between Ralph and Jack. That night, anger turned into open conflict. Jack attacked Piggy. Piggy's glasses fell and shattered. One lens was gone forever. The island was beginning to divide. And something even more terrifying was descending from the sky. While the boys slept, a dead fighter pilot drifted down from the war raging far above them. His parachute tangled in the rocks atop the mountain. Each gust of wind made the corpse rise and fall. In the darkness, it looked alive. The next morning, two boys spotted the horrifying silhouette. They ran screaming. The beast was real. Panic spread across the island. Jack seized the opportunity. He challenged Ralph's authority and formed his own tribe. Many boys abandoned Ralph and joined him. Jack promised protection. Jack promised meat. Jack promised freedom from rules. And one by one, civilization began to crumble. To appease the beast, Jack's tribe killed a sow in a frenzy of violence. Then they placed its severed head on a sharpened stake as an offering. What happened next would reveal the true horror of the story. A quiet, thoughtful boy named Simon discovered the grotesque pig's head. As flies swarmed around it, he suffered a seizure. In a terrifying hallucination, the head seemed to speak. It called itself the Lord of the Flies. And it revealed the truth. The beast was not hiding in the jungle. The beast was inside them. Inside every one of them. Determined to save the others from their fear, Simon climbed the mountain. There, he discovered the so-called monster. Not a beast. Not a demon. Just the corpse of a dead pilot. At last, Simon understood everything. He rushed down the mountain to tell the others. But he arrived at the worst possible moment. A storm was raging. Jack's tribe was gathered in a wild ritual dance. They were chanting, screaming, working themselves into a frenzy. Then Simon burst from the darkness. The boys saw a figure emerge from the jungle, and fear took over. They believed the beast had come for them. The mob attacked. Hands, teeth, spears. The boys tore Simon apart. Only when it was over did the truth become clear. They had murdered one of their own. And now there was no going back. Soon afterward, Jack's tribe launched a nighttime raid. They attacked Ralph's camp. Not for revenge. Not for territory. For Piggy's glasses. The final lens. The last source of fire. The last symbol of reason. By morning, Piggy was completely blind. But he refused to surrender. Together with Ralph, he marched to Castle Rock to demand the glasses back. Piggy raised the conch and shouted one final question. Was it better to have rules and peace? Or hunting and killing? For a moment, it seemed as though someone might listen. Then Roger moved. High above, Roger released a gigantic boulder. It thundered down the cliffside. Ralph jumped clear. Piggy never saw it. The rock struck him directly. The conch exploded into white fragments. Piggy was hurled from the cliff. His body smashed against the rocks below. And with him died the last trace of civilization on the island. Jack celebrated. Then he turned his attention to the final obstacle. Ralph. Now alone, Ralph became prey. Jack ordered the entire island set ablaze to flush him out. The jungle burned. Animals died. Smoke covered the sky. And Ralph ran for his life. Through fire. Through ash. Through a paradise transformed into hell. The hunters closed in. The end seemed inevitable. Ralph burst from the jungle onto the beach and collapsed. He had nowhere left to run. He looked up and saw a man standing over him. A British naval officer. The smoke from Jack's fire had attracted a rescue ship. The hunt was over. Just like that, the painted savages froze. In the presence of an adult, they became little boys again. The officer looked around at the destroyed island and asked what they had been doing. For a moment, nobody answered. Then Ralph looked at the ruins around him. He thought of Simon. He thought of Piggy. He thought of everything they had become. And he began to weep. Not just for his friends. Not just for the island. But for the loss of innocence. And for the terrifying darkness he had discovered inside the human heart.